What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode of Respect the Game podcast. My name is Edward, named after a great man, that being my pops. Shout out to my mother and my grandmother for helping raise me too. Please make sure you go follow at EMAX Stats for all your up-to-date high school, pro, and collegiate sports coverage. Will not disappoint. We'll keep you up to date on all that is going on in the beautiful sports world. Right now, not at full strength. Hopefully, our brother Blaque.Peace joins us in the building tonight. But nonetheless, we got one of the realest, one of the illest, one of the ones who shine the hardest that is back in the building, making the podcast a little bit more stronger. What is a podcast without your brethren?
Um, Big brother Iron Man, you know, shout out his own surgical fix. Digital wallet near you, Twitter, Instagram. Let's go.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. It is I, the one and only, Sedacious Xavier Miles, the notorious Cowboy fan. And as I do always, for me and my brothers, I want to say thank you so much for supporting us. I've been down lately, but it's cool. It gets better. You got to take the win. You got to take the good with the bad. But
Does it
let's
get better?
carry on.
Does it? Will it?
Back at you.
All right, man. This episode is probably it may be longer than our normal episodes, or maybe possibly cut it into two, to be determined. Nonetheless, you're listening. I appreciate you rocking out with us. But we're definitely gonna talk about the NFL as well as the NBA getting ready to tip off in a week from now. But starting with the NFL, Davante Adams traded to the New York Jets. This is coming after they lost yet again to the a game that was winnable. They lost last night, Monday Night Football, to the Buffalo Bills. Getting Davante Adams, do y'all think this move warrants them having a strong chance to make the playoffs with them being in the AFC East?
Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce coming over to the Nets is a comparison that I saw on Twitter, and I thought that was knee-slapping hilarious.
You said KG and Paul Pierce to the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some equivalence to that, but I'm not gonna disrespect Davante Adams and say he's falling off of a cliff and he's past his prime, because I feel like, if he had a quarterback in Las Vegas, he definitely would be okay. So I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know if this pushes the envelope, but I mean, it's good to have two number ones on the field. Great to have two number ones on the field. I think it'll open up the offense, and it's a familiarity there. Obviously, they just showed up together on the Pat McAfee show today, that quick. I believe that boy he might have already been down there before the trade broke.
He may have been in the locker room last night. So
he was like, "Let me know when they announce it on it so I can walk through the door." All right, man. Yeah. So I don't know if this really moves the needle for them. To be honest, do I think they can beat us? No. Do I think they can beat the Ravens? No. That run defense was much to be desired last night. If you watch that game, the Bills were able to run the ball at will with no James Cook. So that was a little concerning to me. So Davante Adams don't play defense. And I don't know if they've been creative enough on offense to just be like, oh, man, yeah, Davante Adams. Yeah, they're going to score 40 points a game now. I don't know if it moves the needle to overwhelming Super Bowl contenders, but it is Super Bowl or bust. It's been that way, but now it's like, yeah.
Do y'all foresee, or do y'all have any faith that this could possibly turn into a Randy Moss, Tom Brady-esque type situation?
That's best case scenario.
How likely do you think it is we see that?
I say 20% because Tom Brady, when he got Randy Moss in his career, was still very much so in his prime. I don't believe Aaron Rodgers is in his prime anymore. Back-to-back weeks, back-to-back games where he's thrown game-ending interceptions, coming off a 3-pick game, just last game, game before Monday night. So I don't know, man. And then he came out and blamed Mike Williams for the pick yesterday. I'm like, even if it was his fault, it's like, I mean, shit, I guess it got Davante Adams here, but, some questionable leadership qualities, but, that's Aaron Rodgers. But for his sake, I hope they ball out. I think they still lose, though. They may lose in a divisional wild card.
Yeah, man. The AFC East, you got the Bills, the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Patriots. And obviously, the Dolphins aren't really going nowhere. This being a rebuilding year for the Patriots, they're now starting Drake May, their first round drafted quarterback. So potential for them to get a wild card spot, possibly. I mean, they would definitely have to run off some games here pretty soon, like immediately. I don't think they're going to have any grace period for a learning curve. As you talk about, us nearing like the middle part of the season. Yeah, so I think they got to hit the ground running and be able and hope and pray if you're a Jets fan. Shout out to my brother Ty from Brooklyn. Uh, if you're a Jets fan, you got to pray that synergy, that chemistry that they had in Green Bay could just easily fall in the line once they get on the field together, as if like they never left and departed from each other. I think that's your best bet. But at the same time, too, I think when you talk about from an organizational standpoint, I'm not impressed by the move at all because I just feel like the house is on fire, and I feel like they're just trying to throw water on a grease fire, which isn't necessarily good. It sounds good. It sounds like you're trying to put out the fire, but you're really just making it worse. I think getting
Sounds
this
like you're trying to die. Crazy.
You get in Davante Adams. Obviously, it amplifies the win or bust situation. The clock is ticking on Aaron Rodgers. But also too giving Davante Adams the grace and the respect that he deserves and being a top elite receiver. If this don't work with A-Rod, then like where do you go from here, Davante? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think I don't think it'll work. And again, from that organizational standpoint, I think there's just so much dysfunction amongst the organization and letting go Robert Saleh, dating back to how everybody hung Zach Wilson on the cross, swearing Aaron Rodgers was going to be better, and that has not been the case. I don't think getting Davante Adams solves the overall problems. Granted, winning does cure all, but I don't think the move will necessarily like translate to a fast turnaround of wins. But yeah.
In Aaron Rodgers' defense, he hasn't played in well over how long? A year and a half? First few games back. But I expect him to be rounded in the form like now. You don't really have time to be you Aaron Rodgers, so it's a standard to be upheld. It's an expectation, man.
Yeah. Going over to another big time trade, Amari Cooper, he leaves the Cleveland Browns, gets traded to the Bills. I think this is a great trade for the Bills.
Amazing trade. Somebody who can actually get open.
Route runner university. And talking about Amari
UTSA. Shout out.
That's somebody too in a Davante Adams like situation. Their career gets to be revived and them being put in a winning situation and them not just, wasting away their prime years, so to speak.
I wonder what Dallas would look like with Amari Cooper. Man, what would Dallas get for like a Amari Cooper type of? Oh wait, what y'all get for Amari Cooper? What y'all give him away for?
Amari Cooper soft, bro. This has been known. This is what Doc is.
What? This dude is.
Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper soft.
So
SOF capital T.
So you don't think Amari Cooper
ain't better than
maker for the Bills Nations?
Amari Cooper on the Cowboys would either be the decoy for CeeDee Lamb or get catches and reps because CeeDee Lamb is being blanketed. That's the only two purposes he would serve.
You don't think he's a true number one?
Huh?
You don't think he's a true number one?
Amari Cooper?
Yeah.
No, not me personally, no.
Oh, you crazy. Just say you a butthurt Cowboys fan because your Cowboys side's showing right now. But it's cool. But that's crazy that you said that. He ain't, come on. You gonna call him a route runner extraordinaire, but he ain't the number one, man? Come on, man.
Who called him a route running extraordinaire?
A sensible, young, God-fearing man. Who you call your brother. And me.
All that's good, but when you soft, it don't matter. If you can't catch the ball and keep it don't matter. If you can't stay on the field, it don't matter.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got Joe in the house. R&B legend.
I don't know. Is that him? Is that him, y'all? My apologies, podcast. I do apologize. I missed this one. I fumbled the bag, but I'm here. I am definitely here in the flesh. Yes, sir.
Us with your presence.
Joe, that was good. I'm not gonna lie.
Hopefully, I got the right reference with the song.
I wanna know. Hey, Blaque.Peace. So you entered the conversation. You entered the pod into a heated conversation about Amari Cooper being traded from the Browns to the Buffalo Bills. To start us off, Darnell, do you believe Amari Cooper to be a number one receiver?
In the right system, the right team, the right quarterback, yes. But not a strong number one receiver, just by like couple hairs, I would say.
Do you think that Amari Cooper is soft?
Absolutely not. As a Texans fan, and from what I've experienced, I can't afford to call him soft personally. I'll just feel like a hater at this point. Sorry, I have not heard anything, but just from my experience, I wouldn't, because he torches for over 300 yards, over 200 yards. So I can't really say much about Amari Cooper.
So is it safe to say that if somebody were to call him soft, they probably would be like hating, right?
To a certain extent, yeah. I mean, well, soft as okay. There's two ways of soft. There's gameplay soft, and then there's like, I guess, health soft.
Well, shit, we talking about Amari Cooper. We're not talking about both. Throwing hands
but as a player, he's not soft.
If they put Sauce Gardner on you, what are you doing?
Hold on, Dacius. So Dacius, clarify your
any number one receiver in the NFL. If they put Sauce Gardner on them, they're gonna get some production if they ain't gonna get no touchdown.
Okay, so I think that's a really bad point that you just brought up because
Okay, Nico Collins.
styles make a fight.
Nico
Styles make a
Collins
fight.
like Nico
Nico
Collins
Collins is
ain't
that
getting none.
nigga. Nico Collins is him. Nico
Okay,
Collins is leading the league in
take
receiving
Dell.
yards. Please watch. Be cool with that. You said Tank Dell. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I think Amari Cooper can get open on Sauce Gardner, bro. Sauce Gardner don't have elite speed. He has elite length, pause, and quickness, short area burst. He's a great technician, but so is Amari Cooper.
I feel for his skill set.
Technician on technician. So he may win a couple reps, he may lose a couple reps, but I think it'll be a battle.
I think the game of football needs to be played with heart. And
so the softness for you, is it more like, as it relates to you talking about Amari Cooper being soft, is it more like you saying like he doesn't have a mental toughness for you?
Bro, if you lock him down first part of the first quarter, he's out of the rest of the game. He's out mentally. I've seen it happen.
That's what he did on your Cowboys.
That's what he does, bro. That's why he got to leave the Raiders when he left the Raiders.
Or maybe he's leaving because the Browns ain't fucking shit and they suck, and he don't want to waste his career with Deshaun massage
with the right system, the right quarterback, or both. Either or. He got to have one
with
of the
right system, with the right quarterback, he'd be just as good as Stephon Diggs.
And the Browns don't have that right now because at least last year, call him what you want, but Flacco was in his bag, and he made him be able to be a force. But now that Deshaun's there, it's just
I'm not gonna disrespect Amari Cooper and say
no. He's just a good quarterback. That's what I mean. That's the point. Like you give him a good quarterback or a good system, he's gonna thrive. He's gonna be able to.
You can get him the ball. That's just basically saying like if you're able to get him the ball, he's going to be able to showcase his skills. So
absolutely.
That sounds like somebody like, but we can say that literally about any receiver. Oh, if you can get him the ball, well, shit, that's like the whole thing, right? Like you play receiver, like I would hope if you get the ball, you able to, do what you're supposed to do. But for the sake of the argument, I feel like I don't know, man.
Who did he get traded to again?
The Bills.
Oh, the Bills.
Oh yeah, to somebody else you don't like.
We'll see, because that's good. Because they would have needed something for Davante Adams coming over there.
How you feel about Josh Allen getting Amari Cooper? What you still feel the same way you do about Josh Allen?
Wait a minute, hold on. Well, answer Izzo's question. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the same exact way.
No picks. Can I interest you in that?
All right, Daisha. So hear me out on this question.
Wow.
Right? You've always felt and been a proponent since we started the podcast. You take away Stephon Diggs, and Josh Allen is your average Joe. Is that a fair, accurate statement?
Yep.
Okay. Are you impressed with where the Bills are now, what Josh Allen has been doing with no Stephon Diggs?
Nope.
Why not?
He has a pretty good defense that's keeping him, that's backing him, and he ain't doing nothing special, right? What he's doing, how he's producing, it won't last as we get deeper into the season.
I beg to concur. The gentleman has not thrown that one interception yet. That's pretty impressive. That's
now
seeing as though he led the league in turnovers since he got into the league.
That's a hell of a turnaround.
Now he's a regular Joe.
Well, I'm going to attribute that to Joe Brady and them leaning heavily on the run game. And first of all, them being able to run the ball the way they have is a testament to the scheme. And not only that, but obviously the O-line. But, I think them leaning more on the run, which is what they did the back half of last year, which is why Diggs' numbers declined. And then they thought, oh, maybe we don't need Diggs. It'll come back to bite them, though, come playoff time, because once people know you when they get to play tendencies. Obviously, you can always lean on that run game, but man, you got to have that guy on the outside. You got to have somebody that can just get open at any time, especially when it comes to the playoffs. Josh know that. So them getting Amari Cooper was pivotal, essential.
I can't wait to see it. I think the Jets take the AFC East.
So you think
Now they got Davante Adams.
So you think they make the climb over the Bills?
Yeah, I think they beat them out.
Bills 4-2, Jets 2-4. So it's quite the climb. Okay. To be determined. Our beloved Houston Texans, they are 5-1. How do y'all feel about our Super Bowl chances, man? Just with us being 5-1, what our schedule has been, beating the teams we've beaten, obviously a nasty loss to the Vikings. What is the tape telling y'all how y'all feel we should feel about our Super Bowl chances?
With that high scoring game, we're trending in the right direction finally. A lot of games we've been playing have been, very slow, very calm, a couple explosive plays, but, just very, very methodical, if you would say. But that last game, putting up over 40 points, that's exactly what the team needed. That's exactly what the offense needs to get used to doing. The defense scored a couple times themselves, or at least once. And, the defense is also just being a lot more aggressive and, made a rookie's debut hard and what it needed to be, even though it was pretty successful for Drake May. Shout out to Big Draco. But I feel like they're trending in the right direction with the high score. That's what I need to see, in my opinion. The wins were good. I just need to see them be a power team. So
I project us out going 13-4. I definitely see us winning the division and really making a longer playoff push. I definitely can see us in the AFC Championship game. This team has Super Bowl aspirations, and they are legit. We can rush the passer. We can run the ball dominantly, and we have difference makers on the outside. I hate that Brevin Jordan got hurt because I'm sick of Dalton Schultz. That's one thing I can say. And I'm a bit surprised at Bobby Slowick that he hasn't unleashed CJ a bit more. I get it. We want to run the ball, but sometimes we can get into that zone in the game where, man, we can drop back and pass it every time we need to. But again, with Joe Mixon being back, even when Joe Mixon was out, it would be questionable stuff. I know I get not wanting to, I don't know,
overdo it.
Yeah, but CJ don't need a pitch count. It ain't like we ask him to throw 45 times every game. So it's like sometimes when we need him to throw 45 times, let the nigga throw 45 times, bro.
Yeah.
Also, I need for Mr. K Stover to step up. Okay. You played with CJ Stroud in Ohio State. You guys were successful together. You flourished once he left. Brevin Jordan's out. I need you to step up, brother. I was very happy when we drafted you. I feel like CJ had something to do that. And lately, I have not seen you produce, brother. Especially with Nico down, we need you to step up.
Who are you talking about?
Cade Stover, the rookie.
Yeah,
tight
man.
end.
He. Oh man.
Exactly.
Much to be desired from him, but
exactly.
Dalton Schultz, he got one more time to drop a pass for me, and I'm off that bandwagon, bro. But I was a big proponent for Brevin this year, man. I really thought he earned the starting job. More explosive, more dynamic after the catch. Dalton Schultz, man, he 50-50 with catching the ball, bro. Like
How old is Schultz?
When your other tight end isn't catching the ball, Cade Stover, you're making it.
But I'm saying,
it's going straight
if
to you
Brevin
now.
Jordan isn't hurt, Cade Stover isn't even playing.
You
don't even see him in the
you
game
have that
at
dual
tight
threat.
end. He just stays at fullback because he made the team as a fullback.
True enough, but you played tight end in college. You know the position.
Right.
I'm not giving you no way out, brother.
Which is why he's playing it, because of we running around each other, but we saying the same thing. But yeah, he's at tight end because Brevin got hurt.
My thing is, like, I'm pointing my finger at him more because I feel like Dalton Schultz production is not. It's like you're the only tight end. we're in a league where you're getting dual tight ends. You have a elite tight end, and then you have the just behind him tight end. I don't want to say okay, but just right behind him. Like you have the guys that were in Detroit. You got the guys in Buffalo. Like that's Trent. They got the guys in Baltimore. Those are trending dual tight ends being successful catching the ball and blocking. And that's why I'm pointing at K Stover. I'm like, bro, I need you to produce this, just not drop the ball. Put those blocks in a little bit better to where they can put a little bit more attention on you and just let Dalton Schultz be a little more free, just a little bit. But if they know you're trash or you're not stepping up to the plate, bro, they're gonna X him off and like, Schultz, you're not getting nothing today, brother. And any faults that you have, they're gonna be exposed even more. That's why I'm so at that angle.
Wow. Loc'd up Blaque.Peace.
Yes, sir.
Loc'd up Blaque. That may be the
Yes,
8th part
Special appearance, baby.
episode. Loc'd up Blaque.Peace. Hey, Izzo, you said you got us going 13-4. We already have that first loss against the Vikings. Where do you foresee those other 3 losses happening for us?
I was just being generous. We could entertain those cowards,
we can sweep
we could
the
potentially drop one to Baltimore. Hopefully, we can get over that hump psychologically. That's the question.
That's where coming into the season, looking at our schedule, as of right now, bounce back from the Vikings loss. Thus far, we have been winning the games that we are supposed to win, which I think is something you need in a championship contending team. 1, 2.
I want to project something out. I just saw into the future. When the Texans play the Cowboys around Thanksgiving, Joe Mixon is going to have close to 150 yards rushing. I just saw it. I just came right back from the future, bro. It's going to be crazy. He may have 200. As a backfield, they may have 200. No, I'm not saying that to be funny, but okay, you laughing now, but we going to roll this clip after we play y'all. I just want you to come back on here and laugh like that when it happens.
So, looking like I was saying, looking at our schedule, and right now we beating the teams we're supposed to beat. You need that for a championship contending team bouncing back from the Vikings. For me, I will not be able to lock in my true championship belief for the Texans until the end of the season, where we play the Chiefs and the Ravens back-to-back, and that Chiefs game is on the road. We need to win one of those games to have a psychological belief that when the playoffs come and we have to meet one of these teams potentially in the AFC Championship, knowing that we can beat them. Obviously, last year it didn't go our way. Really playing with house money, nobody expected CJ to be who he came out to be his rookie year, and then we turn out and we lose to the Ravens. So we played fairly close up until, obviously the second half or whatever. But for the Texans, continue to beat the teams that you're supposed to beat, and we have to win one of those games. I think if we could win one of those games, that will solidify how real our championship aspirations are to be towards the end of the season. So that's how I'm going about gauging whether or not I believe in our Super Bowl aspirations. We got to win 1 or 2 of those games. But yeah, speaking of the Cowboys, Dacius, the floor is yours. Obviously, a brutal loss to the Lions. I know we tend to have these Cowboy state of the addresses. I've always admired how much of a cool-headed Cowboys fan you are. You don't get too high, you don't get too low. You try to keep everything in its proper perspective. For the Cowboy fans out there who are like you, what is the takeaway from this, if any at all, as it relates to the future of the Cowboys following the catastrophic loss to the Detroit Lions this past Sunday, my brother?
Stephen A came from this angle earlier today, and I really liked it because I didn't think about it the way he thought about it. He was referencing the New York Knicks and how long they sucked.
Mhm.
But he talked about there being Cowboy fans in the game actually rooting for the Detroit Lions. And so I feel as though the only way that the madness stops is if some type of way we form a fan club picket line, or some type of way we can do a fan club sit-in or boycott or whatever the case may be, because nothing's going to change. We're going to constantly give dead energy to a system that is clearly flawed. And no matter what it is that we hope to gain from watching the players play, we'll never, ever really be able to faithfully have that, because we don't have someone who is faithfully trying. We don't have an owner of our organization who is faithfully trying to win football games. He is faithfully trying to keep the Cowboys and further the Cowboys being on the map and marketing and so on and so forth. My nigga is in Bitcoin deals. He is in cryptocurrency deals. He ain't worried about winning no football games, right? And so when you have someone who is the leader of the system, who is running the system, come on, bro. At this point, it's like you getting mad is a laugh. Like, getting upset about this shit is a laugh, bro. Like, I'm supposed to be the same upset I was when they got blew out 60-something to the Packers. Stop playing with me, man. I'm a grown man. Stop playing with me, right? But I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand the Cowboy fans who
Well, you
go
know,
back and
man, y'all
forth.
been getting blew out for quite some time now. This remnants of your team, the core of y'all. So it's funny that you brought back up y'all getting blew out in the playoffs. So dating back to that, y'all lost games by 30 plus points, I believe.
Hold on, time out. Hold on, Sean. Hold on. I wasn't done. So, with that being said, bro, strangely enough, I'm not even really worried about the Cowboys for real. Like, a nigga really got real life shit going on. And so I can really, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's cool, you know what I'm saying? The Cowboys and all that, but like, that don't really like pay my bills for real. That ain't really like moving me. So like, I know it's all like fun and games and shit, but like, I'm on a whole different type of vibe. Like, and like, nigga, like, where like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the white man is where it's at. The white man has always been our problem. And the white man will probably always continue to be our problem. The white man will be the reason why you won't win. And them being white
I
and they
don't know where this is going.
So that's just how I feel about it. That's just where my heart is. I mean, even with the star behind me, it's like, bro,
I just want to say
there are bigger things at play. And you know, I know all we see is what we see on the TV, but bro, this shit, it ain't. It's really for fun, bro. It's really all fun, for real. Just to get to watch these guys play a game for millions of dollars.
Thank
and,
you for telling us some stuff that we know.
At the end of the day, bro, you just numb to the BS with your franchise, and I think every fan gets to that point when their franchise is on BS.
Yeah, bro.
I'm gonna politely
I was
interject
just there
though,
like 2 years ago, so I get you.
He stated something, and I just want to point this out, and I'm really done after that or after this. The Cowboys are so bad. Sedacious actually brought real life into the equation, and how they're so bad he don't even have the time to worry about them because life is happening, which is happening for. I just want to say, man, like the Cowboys have really placed their fans in a pretty bad
A point of no
spot.
return.
Yeah, man, and I don't know. I feel for y'all, but then like 90% of me doesn't feel for y'all from a fan's perspective because, you know, as long as I can remember, as long as I've been alive, this has just been on par for the race.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I think, I mean, it's hard for me to stick to football when it comes to really thinking about the Cowboys, because for me it's more than football. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's looking at the surface, and I'm always way deeper pause. And it's just, it's cool. I'll watch the game, you know what I'm saying? I'll root, but like to really keep like expecting them to win, knowing that we ain't got the tools to, knowing that we really can't stop the run and we can't run the ball. Like, are y'all serious? Like, what are we rooting for?
Two most important things in football for sure. You got to be able to.
Hey, Dacius,
Block and tackle.
do you believe being a Cowboys fan is becoming bad for Cowboy fans' mental health?
No. If it is, these niggas tripping. If it is,
I mean, you did
tripping.
bring up an excellent point about how, you know, you got better things to worry about, and we know specifically what's going on, so we won't.
Well, just because there's always this with the Cowboys, bro, comes everything. When you being a Cowboys fan, like you don't get to be a rational Cowboys fan, bro. You gotta be a diehard fanatic that people.
You gotta be willing to jump off the bridge.
I resent that statement. I actually met a very rational Cowboys fan this past Sunday.
No. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying that you won't meet them. What I'm saying is how they are approached.
Well, it surprised me because that was the first one I met. So
they are not approached as rational Cowboys fans. They are approached as the same old fanatics.
How would you know?
I'm one of them.
We say take one to know one.
Simple. I've been talking about this defense for years. I've been talking about Dak Prescott for years.
Well, I'll say this.
But contrary to popular belief, I feel like they're gonna be okay. I feel like the only team we really got to worry about is the Commanders.
Well,
what you mean by okay? What you mean by that?
Well, we always infamous for 8-8 and taking the division with 8-8. So as long as we can go at least 9-7, we straight.
Lie, brother. I think them days are long behind y'all. I reckon.
You know, I love that you say that, because you sound like every journalist this morning and this Monday morning and Tuesday to this morning. And I don't feel like it's that deep. I feel like Detroit was a powerhouse, right? And when it comes to the rest of our schedule, we can still squeeze in that little last spot.
As bad as they look, to give Sedacious some bail money, they are 3-3. On par for that 8-8 projection. But I believe.
I do want to point out the wins. The only notable win I would give y'all is Pittsburgh.
I wouldn't say that was notable.
Hey, I was reaching for something to give. But
what's crazy is we beat Pittsburgh. We haven't played no divisional game yet.
So here's the thing. The best quarterback in the division is Jaden Daniels, and I don't believe it's close. I don't believe that's hyperbole at this point. It's yet to be seen how far that he can take him his rookie season. But I definitely foresee him getting to the divisional, potentially losing in the divisional round. But I'll tell you, man, Cowboys, tough watch. And I'm going to love every second of Joe Mixon having a historic day against those guys. I'm telling you.
Joe Mixon, I don't know if you want to call him locks or twists, but he got him.
His rushing yards when he played the Cowboys.
He got him, Dacious. He got him.
Over, bro. I'm talking about like over. Like
whatever they got.
Are
you saying this because you feel like the Cowboys will not find a way to be able to tighten up the interior by Thanksgiving?
What I'm telling you is the Cowboys can't stop the run to save their life. And if you look at y'all back end, y'all really can't cover to save y'all life. Because if you've been paying attention, Trayvon Diggs, he gets picked on. But and I guess this ain't a shocker. When you
You
can't
said
defend the run, it's
got
hard
picked.
to defend the pass, even if you can defend the pass. Y'all have a bunch of pick artists over there, guys who play great zone coverage, but y'all never had the ability to sit back in zone because y'all always got to be on the attack because guess what? This guy's always running the ball in y'all. So y'all have to stack the box. Y'all have to show single high. Y'all got to show, man coverage on the outside because y'all have to have all these people in the box.
What's
You can't
crazy is
afford
you
to play
sound like
zone on
me
the back
about 3
end.
years ago.
I
What's
mean,
crazy? You sound like me about 3 years ago.
you just looking at what's
This
happening on the field,
this
bro.
is when oh boy, what's his name? Brad, whatever the Commanders' new coach. This when he was the defensive coordinator, and now we got Mike Zimmer.
I'm telling you, bro. Like it ain't even about the coordinator, bro. Y'all just don't have personnel to stop the run. Y'all just don't.
Okay,
Y'all not built to stop the run.
All right, okay, I got you. So who do we blame that we don't have the personnel?
No, it's Jerry Jones' fault, but I'm just saying, but Jerry Jones is the Cowboys.
Yeah,
we saying the same shit. He's some
that's
shit too.
all it is. I mean, but
yeah.
at this point, I'm already here. So it's either not watch football anymore or we riding it down with the Cowboys.
That's what they got. They got niggas at the point of where they don't even want to watch the shit no more.
No. I wouldn't
I'm
even watch
catching every
football.
Texans game. I'm loving all these primetime games we have.
I wouldn't even watch it. I mean, I would find something
I'm
way
loving
more
it.
productive to do with my time, but I would have to not watch it.
Well, if you want to watch some quality football, Packers and Texans will be on this upcoming week.
No,
Can I interest you in that?
I can't even watch the Texans. I turn my back on them, and my back got to stay turned. I got to be a real nigga.
Wow. I'll accept you, bro. If you want to come back, I'll accept you.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't even say I wanted you back. I just said if you want to watch some quality football.
Can't do it.
Yeah, you go be a star boy.
I like that.
Yeah, I bet.
That was nice.
Is it like the Bloods and the Crips? Like once you choose a side, like it's a wrap?
It's exactly like that.
Ain't no game around here.
It's exactly like that. In a box.
He said the only way you lead an I-9 is in a box. In a box?
Oh, like in a box. Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Still talking football, but switching over to the collegiate ranks. Man, this breaks my heart to have to say, but I feel like somebody has to say it because I'm going against my home state. And yeah, and I try not to give Georgia fans too much credit because they are absolutely obnoxious. But yeah, man, as it relates to Texas and Georgia being the game of the week this week, and Georgia being like I want to say 3.5 or 2.5, 3 point underdogs. Texas is not going to win this game. And I just want to put it out there that the reason I think they're not going to win this game is because it's going to come down to Quinn Ewers, and obviously he had the injury early in the season, and then he just came back against Oklahoma. And most Texas fans are looking at that game to be like, oh yeah, like we're a complete team. Our offense struggled, but our defense was able to follow suit and hold it down. And then the offense got it going. When really, it was the run game that really got it going for us, and so on and so forth. So like right now, Texas is feeling like we're riding high off complimentary football. Our defense can back up our offense when our offense is struggling, and so on and so forth. I really don't think Texas has really been like punched in the mouth yet to start this season. And I believe the fact that Georgia has already lost to Alabama, they have more at stake. Their backs are against the wall way more than Texas, and they're out for blood. And I think when you factor in that, on top of the fact that Quinn Ewers didn't look necessarily great, some people are going to credit that to Russ. Obviously, he was injured. He coming back. and he's trying to get back in a rhythm.
Somebody been living in Georgia too long, man.
Listen, hear me out, dog. Hear me out, bro. Hear me out, bro. Bro, I don't think that Oklahoma game was enough for Quinn Ewers to knock off the rust and immediately be ready to go against Georgia. I do not believe that in any way, shape, or form. And I think Georgia, obviously, is not the same Georgia defense as past years. I acknowledge that. But I don't think it's a fast enough turnaround for Quinn Ewers to knock off the rust, getting ready to go up against arguably the toughest game that they played all season long. And when I think about it, I was like, all right, when Quinn Ewers' back was against the wall and he had to play in the most meaningful game of his career, what did he do? Against Washington in the playoffs last year, he threw for 318 and 1 touchdown. I think the way to beat Georgia is through the quarterback, i.e. the only teams who have ever done it was Bama. Jalen Miro has done it twice now. Earlier this season, he had 4 touchdowns, two passing, 2 rushing. Then he did it last year. Well, that was a very nip and tuck game. What did he have? He had 3 touchdowns. He had 3. No, excuse me, that was incorrect. He had 2 touchdowns in that game, and then Bryce Young was the next quarterback to beat Georgia, who threw for 400. He threw for 400 yards with 3 touchdowns, and Bryce also had a rushing touchdown, so he had 4 touchdowns. So you have to pretty much at the quarterback position, you have to be absolutely astronomically great to beat Georgia. And
But as you said, this is a compromised Georgia team, not the same strength of defense. I think college football is a bit more balanced this year. If you look around,
I've heard
people,
that. I've heard that.
and I think a large part is because of NIL. People are following the money, and if you have a strong booster club and you're able to pay players and you're able to sustain that financially, I think you see dividends on the field with programs having multiple elite players or playmakers at different positions on the field in order to impact winning. So I
Quinn
think
Ewers
it's a.
has had the ability. We seen him beat Bama last year, so he has the ability.
Do you believe?
I don't. I don't.
Oh.
I don't. I'm sorry. And when I seen it this past summer, I don't know how they're gonna use it, but I know they're gonna use it this past summer when they had 3 stacks walking around Texas. I know that meme is gonna go viral after the game when Georgia beat Texas. It's just not enough. It's not enough time, bro, for Quinn Ewers to whip back into rare form to be ready to go against a team like Georgia, who is out for blood. After already being after have
Push your narrative all you want. Quinn Ewers, 3
it's true,
touchdowns,
dog.
300 yards.
I'm telling you, it's
touchdown,
true, bro. It's
and a win.
It's true.
Isaiah Bond, 7 catches, $112. Quinn Ewers knocked out 3rd quarter. Arch Manning finished him off.
Look.
I mean, but that's a narrative too, right? I feel like if he don't play great, I think that affects his draft stock, that being Quinn Ewers. And so yeah, I don't think he's gonna be as great as he needs to beat Bama. To beat Georgia. If I'm wrong, obviously no big deal. I'll say I was wrong, but I just have to get that out there, man, for the college football conversation. Yeah, because like people are really thinking it's close, gonna be, and it may be close. I think Quinn Ewers, yeah, they should have brought him back a lot earlier if they could have, as opposed to letting Archie get those reps to like think about the long game and be like, bro, we need you in rare form. I don't think he's gonna be back to his full self 100% going up against Georgia this upcoming Sunday, and I think that's gonna be a big factor. And Georgia being able to pull out the win. But going back over to staying with college football, Sean Izzo, you was in the building with us last week when Blaque.Peace went on his rant about Shedeur. You seen the clip. You've heard what he had to say. Before we toss it to him as we revisit the his take on Shedeur Sanders, how did you feel about the tape for yourself? Hearing what Blaque.Peace had to say about Shedeur.
You are gonna single-handedly strip our credibility, spewing that horse shit across the airwaves. Now, I think, I'll say, Polly, I think you were a little hard on the Beaver. I just to call him trash is crazy, bro. Like that's kind of borderline mental institution checking in because he's not trash, bro. Come on. I think the word trash is what throws people for a loop because you can say, oh, well, man, he ain't as good as the hype or this or that. But and I really don't even see how you can say that because if you go look at the numbers, bro, the numbers are what the numbers are. Bro. Like statistically, I think he's doing pretty well this season. And then they have a winning record. Granted, it's not the best record. They do have a winning record, however. So to say it's trash, man, I can't buy into that, man. I can't. I can't, bro. I can't.
Blaque.Peace. So obviously the Clippers, made its rounds, and people have had a lot to say. I will say I went through some of the TikTok comments, and for all the 100+ comments that was in there, the ones that I seen, there was like 2 people that I saw that actually was like, "Yeah, I agree with you."
2 people out of 100. That nigga
So
one.
there is so there is a community out there in which you may represent. But since you said it, since the clip went out, what are your thoughts? Do you still feel the same way you felt? How did you feel about the game? Did you feel like the game proved what you were trying to say, or do you feel like whatever you said may have been taken out of its full context, or just like what are your thoughts looking back on it?
Shout out to Shine Hard for the reference to a little hard on the Beaver. Pretty much. I will say that I was a bit harsh on Mr. Shedeur, but my point is I don't feel like he's a killer. That the way he perceives himself and the way that the league, not the league, but a lot of people perceive him as. That's what I feel as. Now, people like to throw around the Hail Mary. I feel like that's a little bit of fool's gold in my opinion. I feel like that was just
Yeah,
a
that happens all the time. Yeah.
no. Well, it's more of the idea of
Twice back to back though? Come on, bro. I was gonna be like, you know what? On the first one, granted, sure. Like, he lucky. But then you back to back like Jordan 96, 97?
and that was in the Baylor game. Both was in the Baylor game, not mistaken.
It was in the
Yeah,
Baylor game.
I'm not worried about Baylor, sir. I'm so
yeah,
sorry.
back to
So
back
sorry. That's
I'm,
nice. That's cool. But I'm looking at it like,
what we
okay.
won't do though, and I'm gonna let you
Mhm.
finish that on my Kanye vibe, but we can't complain about the competition when we complained about the conference that they were in prior to, but now that they're playing stiffer competition this year, it's like now it's we don't Baylor ain't shit. But like nah, they
don't
weren't
move the
shit when they
goalposts.
weren't shit when they played UCF or before, you know what I mean? Like because the conversation before they played UCF was, UCF is a real program, bro. They can run the ball, they can do this, they can do that.
It's like
And
when they
then
beat TCU, it was a
it's
big
always an
deal, but
excuse. It's like
yeah,
people be
yeah,
like, see, I told you they suck. You know what I'm saying? As soon as
yeah.
they lose, it's like, damn. But I get it though.
It's just
I
more of
get it.
like I want to be proven wrong the last game, and I felt like you know, my point was kind of proven of okay, like you don't have Travis, you don't have Horn, you have a chance to make a game-winning drive, 2 minutes left, and I feel like you find a way to win. That's my point. You just don't say, "Oh, well, I didn't have my personnel. Oh, we didn't have the no." The best they find ways to win, guys, and that's why I feel like a lot of people miss with Shedeur when the pressure's on him and he's figured out. That's it. He's figured out. There's no escape plan. There's no okay. Maybe if I do this, maybe if I do that, it's like no. He's gonna be. You know what Cat Williams say? Keep trying stuff, don't work. Trying the exact same thing, and it's not working for him. And that's what kind of bothers me about him. It's like you can throw you can throw it, a million miles in a game, but it's just like I just feel like there's no destiny of.
What do you mean by?
I just feel like I don't know, like I said, man. I just feel like in the biggest games where he needs to show up or to make a difference, he just kind of conforms. That's what I feel like. You look at 300 yards, like that. Yes, but did he win? Did he lead his team to the win? That's my biggest goal. He's done it before, but it's like I don't know, man.
Win? You bring a
Okay,
Diddy into
that's fine.
this?
I mean,
Yikes!
we often
Wow.
give flowers to the guy who leads the team or help or whatever, man. So it is what it is. That's how I'm looking at it.
So are you saying you feel like some people are sold off what his talent is and what they projecting his talent to be as he goes to the league, and you just don't feel sold because you don't feel like he has a marquee win of clutchness under his belt?
Um,
Because that's what I'm hearing from you when I hear you speak. It sounds like you're saying like he don't have a good enough win, or I haven't seen him be clutch enough for me to like be like, okay, he really who y'all say he is.
and honestly, yeah, man. And like I personally feel like if I see the right scenario executed, I'm like, okay, like Shedeur, bravo, my brother. I'm not a hater. I'm a strong critic in my opinion. The dude goes out there and balls out to my opinion, where it's like, yeah, that's what I like to see. That's hey man, you
I gotta
did
use
it.
that.
The 300
Well, I ain't gonna
yards, the
use it,
stats.
but
I'm like, bro, I'm not quite all the way impressed. I want to see the full product in my
that's
opinion.
a
I'm just like,
T-shirt, man. I'm not a
if you would have
hater.
got the dub, I
I'm a
think
strong
there's nothing
critic.
for me to say. If you would have got the dub the last game, there's nothing for me to say at all. The fact that you didn't get the dub, yeah, it was the team.
He
Yes,
can't play safety too. Well, he played in high school, so they say.
but they were dueling. That's the thing. I will not be a hater and say like he didn't, help bring the team back. But still, you got to execute. I'm still just like not sold to the hype that they put him at. And like I said, I was wrong for saying suck. That was a bit harsh. That was tough. But my thing is just like, bro, like I want to see this hype where you're getting all the, the spotlight and all the attention, and first week of the season, everybody cares about you. It's just like, you know. So that's just me. I'm not quite impressed.
So to wrap it up, I know you said you're not impressed, but to wrap it up, do you or do you not respect Shedeur Sanders' game?
Wish there was a million, but you know what? The sportsman in me, from what I've seen, I have no other choice but to say I respect it. It's like it's not up to my scale the way I want it to be,
We
but
got
I
the
respect the
pause
man.
police going absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not even in that kind of space right now to be thinking about that right now, to be being honest. I must have said something pretty bad, but yeah, I didn't you weren't even thinking about it like that.
But yeah, man, another beautiful episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all for tuning in with us. Make sure y'all are on the lookout for our NBA preview episode. Yeah, man, NBA starts Tuesday, October 22nd. It'll be a day that all our lives change. Pray for me as I struggle with the NBA start next week, where my wife's birthday is shortly after that in the following week. But I'll get through it, like I have been doing nonetheless. But yeah, man, this is gonna be a great episode coming up as we talk about the NBA playoffs, excuse me, NBA season, because that's what we're really gonna make our cash for the surgical picks of Sean Hart Izzo. But no, man, thank y'all for listening to the podcast. Make sure y'all tell us what y'all like, don't like, disagree with in the comments. Definitely appreciate all y'all who was rocking out with us for the for Blaque.Peace's Shedeur take and expressing how disgusted y'all were with it. Nonetheless, appreciate the engagement as always. Love you, beautiful people. Don't take y'all listening for granted, and we will see you next week.